What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and it looks like the one of the stars in She-Hulk just can't stop stirring the pot on Twitter. Sometimes it's her fault. Sometimes, it's people's reactions to things. I noticed that there was quite a bit of hubbub going on around, well, a recent video that surfaced. I'm not exactly sure. Now, this topic is one that, how do I say, I tend to just leave alone because, people's situations are different. I think my position has always been safe, legal, and rare. Somewhere along the lines, it became a thing that, women were doing for their careers, or because they just, and people were being, using it for birth control, having dozens of them. And suddenly it felt a little more ghoulish. That said, I think in this position, when people talk about it, sometimes it's curious, right? When you hear people talk about it, and I know some of my viewers have a harder line position on it. This video isn't necessarily to convince anyone one way or the other. And before we get into the story, just a quick reminder, today, Coffee Brand Coffee, these are for a limited time, just launched our French toast blend, which is absolutely ridiculously delicious, and a brand new tea. We've been hearing from our tea consumers that they want new stuff. So we have this raspberry tea. It's just delicious. Herbal tea, organic, Coffee Brand Coffee, promo code The Quartering. Get it today. We also obviously have our salted caramel, our spiked jack-o'-lantern, our pumpkin spice, and all of our traditional coffee blends, all available. It'd be a great time to pick up French toast, salted caramel, pumpkin spice, and spiked jack-o'-lantern, and maybe our most popular product, the cold brew bags. So make sure to pick those up today. She-Hulk's finale. Let's open a new tab and pick up your coffee. I'd really appreciate it. It supports the channel too. How long is the She-Hulk finale? Well, interestingly, one of the biggest criticisms around She-Hulk has been its short runtime, and this episode is the shortest finale in MCU history. Now that history, some things are just in the headline, right? She-Hulk finale gets record-breaking runtime. Well, what's the actual story about it? She-Hulk's finale is 35 minutes long, thus making it the shortest runtime for a Marvel Studios series finale yet. The episode's length beats Moon Knight's finale of 42 minutes, the previous holder of the record. But She-Hulk isn't exactly a show that's, on the air for a super long amount of time either. So some things are, going on, getting into headlines. But what we have is Jamila Jamil again rousing up, arguing with people on Twitter. And this is something I've said before, and I'll say it again. And by the way, I am live streaming on this channel at 5:30. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment to get into the waiting room. I would absolutely love to see you all there. Lots to talk about. And plus, I'm testing combining two different internets to see if I can actually stream in 1080p. It would be amazing. So I'd love for a huge crowd of you to hang out. Back in October 3rd, Jamila Jamil tweeted this: "To be clear, it's absolutely fine if you personally don't like She-Hulk. I know it doesn't appeal to everyone. Some people effing love it. But can we all agree that you don't need to be so hostile when you express your feelings to me? We're all fans. Let's talk nicely." She goes on then to immediately argue with people by saying, "I was told I'm a diversity hire. I was told I would never work again. I was told we should stop letting women write shows. I was told I looked disgusting. I was told I would only be remembered for being garbage. You tell me what is hostile." I don't really know. Just 2 hours ago, she continues arguing with fans, and it's going to get worse after this new video dropped. Not my video, a video I'm going to show you. She tweeted out, "To the extras on She-Hulk and every show, you make the show better, and thank you." Someone replies, "The show is terrible, I'm sorry." To which she replies, "You found the show terrible? Learn to speak without speaking for everyone. You found the show terrible. Lots of people loved it and thought it was great. People have different wants, needs, and opinions." And then the, I don't know, sign of the horns I'm not exactly sure what that means. I think it's just me, like, whatever, you know. The thing is, I don't, look, and I actually, like, allow me for a second to empathize with her, because I know what it's like. This is part of the reason, I talked about how by the end of the month, I'm going to be on Twitter much, much less. I won't be on Facebook at all or Instagram at all. I'll have Maggie taking it over for me. I've given her a little bit of a promotion because it's toxic. And like, it sucks when I like post a picture of my dogs and like, I'm like, hey, check out Huck and Ruby. Aren't they cute? And someone's like, didn't you pee in your basement? It's annoying. So like when she just posts something totally innocuous about like shout out to the extras, I kind of side with her a little bit in that, like, I mean, it sucks. You just can't share something positive without people like going bananas. But now, here's where people are really, really mad. And it's getting a lot of traction and a lot of, well, you'll see, hate. Again, I don't think, and I think that I'm more like progressive or forgiving, or, woke than maybe some people would expect. But, I understand there are situations where this is a terrible thing, and that a woman has to make a terrible choice. And also it is forgotten in a lot of this that, first of all, men also suffer emotionally when a woman can just erase their child. But also men participated in the making of it too. I don't like this whole, like, women are exclusively the evil doers when it comes to this stuff. I don't know. I don't really like that. But I will say this, when you talk about it and you like talk about it from like let's just take a look. I mean, she literally says, I felt no revolt. No, I'm just going to say, you react to this clip.
I had my abortion. I felt nothing but intense relief.
It gets more interesting.
I was trying to feel guilty because that's what I knew from the movies, right? In the movies, they show people really struggling with it and feeling terrible.
You should. It should be a difficult decision. I'm not saying that it should be that, like, again, I'm not saying that there aren't situations where it's a thing or whatever, okay? But, bro, you just extinguished a life. It's not something that should be like, oh, neat. But it gets even more interesting.
Terrible, and trying to remember what the birth date would have been of that baby, and I just couldn't get there. I just felt relieved and grateful to live in a country that made this safe and free and accessible for me.
She sounds like a psychopath. I'm just saying, like, it's weird that you're just like, I tried to have emotions. I tried to have normal human emotions. I didn't. I just felt relieved. And from this interview, it appears in the last 2 seconds.
And that now my life wasn't over. I had my...
The last part. Let me play the last, like, few seconds.
Relieved and grateful to live in a country that made this safe and free and accessible for me. And that now my life wasn't over. I had my...
Now, I don't know when she had the situation, but you could see lack of feeling guilt does not nullify the heinousness of the action. Here's someone saying, what the? Oh my God, this woman is pure evil. This isn't going to do what you think it's going to do. Isn't birth control, condoms, and or other means of pregnancy prevention easier than less of a hassle than having this? Look, in her opinion, I guess as far as she stated, she had 2 forms of birth control, still ended up pregnant. Maybe that's true. I know a lot of friends that had kids that told me that too. I'm just saying that, like, I'm sure it's true. I mean, nothing's 100% except abstinence. But like, also, I hear a lot of, bro, I mean, well, I was using a condom too, and she's, I'm really upset. So I know a lot of people who are the 1 in a million that got pregnant, okay? But it does happen. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't, okay? Now my life wasn't over. Just my baby's was. Jeez. I made a child sacrifice to ensure happiness. Now my life wasn't over. Nope, just the life she created. Oof. I mean, I don't do the whole like use a condom thing because though, especially alone, that's not like anywhere near. It's like in the 70%, I think, right? 70 or 80%. So like, it's not like it's 100%, and it's not like super duper close to 100% either. Lots of white hot self-righteousness in these replies. I don't think, look, for me, if like I had found out that someone had this procedure or made this decision, I think how you take knowing that is kind of like directly related to whether or not they appear to be celebrating it, to be talking about like, hey, I didn't want to ruin my career. Like, and like, is this a documentary on sociopaths? I mean, the as an adult human male, I am more like, look, hey, some dude fired a load to make that happen, and he's just as responsible for that life being created. Now, I don't know if he was in support of or against. She also talks about, she ends up replying to this and starts talking about some sort of like medical exemption that she had or something like that. But that's not what she said. She said, my life wasn't over and I was relieved. She says, I have EDS, which makes pregnancy insanely dangerous. And I was already having mental illness problems. My life would have been over. Mind your business. I mean, no, I'm not going to mind my business when you're pumping out propaganda for ABC. You shot this commercial, right? It was your choice to make this ad. You made it our business. I didn't want to know that about you, but now I do. And just another reason to love She-Hulk, I suppose. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you stop by on the live stream and you head on over to coffeebrandcoffee.com. Look at these beautiful flavors. We have French toast, salted caramel, pumpkin spice, spiked jack-o'-lantern. Get them all before you miss out. We've got that brand new mint tea, a raspberry tea. Oops, spoiler alert, we have mint tea coming. We obviously have all of our regular coffees. We have 3 different hot cocos. We have K-Cups. Soon we will have all of our stuff in K-Cups. More to come on that. I hope you enjoy. Promo code The Quartering and you'll save some money too. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.